was Danger Felix, aka the Creatine Dream, aka the Cardigan Don, aka Papa Trail Mix, aka if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Who knows? We good. We good.
Has everything?
Oh, that's it. That's it. You're good.
That was all. Yeah, that was all. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Right.
Yeah,
So
man, we have some really good stuff to cover today. Let's jump straight into it, man. We just watched the Tyson versus Jones event last night.
Yes. Yes.
Roy Jones still got it. Mike Tyson still got it. Mike Tyson still got the power. Roy Jones still got his little crafty, evasive maneuvers. Not like the old Roy Jones, but he did show glimpses of greatness. Like there was this one where he hit him with the no-look jab. I thought that was cool. Where he just popped him. That was nice.
Yeah, I mean,
overall opinion on the event and then the fight.
Barz, you, my guy.
Wait, what are we? Event in its entirety, or that fight in particular? What are we doing?
Let's start with breaking down the event, and then let's get to that fight.
All right. Well,
what did you think of the overall setup of the event, the organization, the look, everything about the event?
Well, the fight was put on by what is it? Triller.
TikTok alternative.
Yeah. Fight put on by Triller. It had an interesting look to it. I think I noticed the ring being a little bit smaller than your regular size ring. And they did 2-minute rounds, 8 rounds for each match, which I thought was interesting. I guess it allows the fighters to have a little bit more energy throughout, so it doesn't decline too much.
Doesn't feel like it's dragging.
Yeah. What was it, like 3 or 4 undercards? 4 undercards?
I think it was 4 undercards. Yeah.
It was 4 undercards.
Did you guys pay attention prior to Jake Paul and Nate Robinson?
Prior? You were talking about the fight before that?
Which one was that? Was that Badu Jack or was that on?
Destroyed that dude.
Badu Jack was the second one, right?
I thought was that the second one, and then the first one was the second one. Okay.
The first one was weird because it didn't even look like he got hit. He just dropped. So I don't know if I'm the only one that saw that.
You caught that stinger, son.
You caught
that phantom. That was that phantom punch.
It was like a phantom punch.
It was either the phantom punch or it was the I gotta get this bag punch. So it's time to go down.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. I was glancing back and forth for the first couple of fights. I was really looking forward to Nate Robinson. Just to see what that was going to look like. We've seen Jake Paul fight a few times. How many fights? What, 2, 3? Literally, he's only had a few fights.
He's only had one professional fight, one professional ranked fight. I think it's a professional or whatever place he's at. He's like 1-0 at the time.
Yeah. So I think that's what my focus was, because Nate Robinson, I've never heard or seen have any interest in boxing prior to this. And when I first heard it, I thought it was going to be a little bit entertaining because we know who Jake Paul was, and he's a YouTube personality. So same time, it wasn't really too serious until I saw a couple of his highlights and saw that he actually had a little bit of technique and some skill. Nate Robinson, not so much.
Nate Robinson just looked eager to beat him up. He didn't really look like he had a organized strategy or plan per se.
Yeah, they tried to do the internet beef thing, through IG, talking back and forth type of thing. And one of the last things I saw Nate Robinson say, he was doing an interview with somebody. I can't remember who it was. He was doing an interview, but he was saying that he's done talking. He's gonna let his hands do the talking. Now, to put this in perspective, This fight lasted what, 1.5 rounds? Would you say?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I think it was over.
1.5 rounds.
Yeah. But no, it was 2, right? Because he went down in the 3rd, right? Did he make it?
No, he went down.
I know he fell a couple times. You know, he tripped a couple times.
He went down. It's like he went down like 3 times in the first, and finished off in the second.
Yeah, I think Wesley. I don't know if he was joking or not, but I think it was Sugar Ray Leonard made a joke that he need to get, or was there Snoop who said he needs to get some boxing shoes? He came out there in some basketball shoes. That's why he kept.
And then he had on horrible colors at that. That didn't help. So
listen, Nate Robinson is an athlete. Okay, he's an athlete. All right, there's nothing he can't do. You know what I mean? He's like 5'9", maybe with shoes on, maybe, right? Slam dunk champion, like 3 times in a row. Like, he's an athlete. There's nothing he can't do. It's just your approach to it got to be different. You know, he tried out for the Seahawks. He didn't quite make it, but he showed his athletic ability. Yeah, that was his last major social event that we kind of knew him from. He tried out from the Seahawks, and he didn't quite make it, but you could see his athletic ability. He can catch the ball. He's fast, but, you know, it's hard at that height, and also there's a lot of competition wide receiver. He's not the most prolific wide receiver, and that's why he didn't make it. But he's an athlete. I don't think there's anything he can't do. Are there things he probably shouldn't do? Maybe. I think this was one of the things, because like Barz said about technique, Nate Robinson seemed to have he seemed to choose the kind of Manny Pacquiao bum rush move, which I think at the beginning was cool, right? Because I don't think Jake Paul was expecting it. So it was cool the first time you did it. But the thing about the Manny Pacquiao move is that Manny Pacquiao doesn't spend the whole fight bum rushing people. He'll bum rush you a little bit.
Not to mention Manny Pacquiao is a seasoned boxer.
That's awesome. I think that was really evident.
How to bum rush the right way.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And not stretch too, because the whole thing is that Jake Paul obviously had the reach. I think his wingspan was 7'4". I think he had 7'4", 7'6", and Nate's was like 7 foot. So he had him by a decent amount. And when you and Barz can speak to this, because I don't know if you guys realize or remember, Barz is a trained boxer. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's had any amateur fights yet, but he's a trained boxer, so he can attest to this. Is that Jake Paul with that reach?
He's a trained boxer and seasoned truck puller.
Yep, also a seasoned truck puller. So hit him up. He needs some trailers moved. I don't know if he's going out of state with it, but put the trailer on his back, man.
Don't hit me up.
Not a state, state only, local truck. Getting that Pepsi truck from one point A to point B. But one of the things you know about boxing is that when you have somebody with a longer reach, and it's funny that we break down this fight because it's the same thing that Tyson had to go to do back in his heyday, because Tyson didn't have the longest reach. He was powerful, but he didn't have the longest reach. So so the thing when you look at it is that when you try to close the gap, you want to try to get inside. You want to try to bridge it with the space. You stay back on the defense, but then you got to find a way to get in there close for the offense. And for Nate, he chose the way that I don't think is normally recommended in boxing, where he's reaching for the punches. So he was leaving his feet like on his tippy toes to go towards Jake Paul to make those punches, leaving him off balance. That's why it was so easy for him to go down, besides the possibility that he had on the basketball shoes. But I thought that it would have been a better fight had Nate Robinson had better technique. I think it's probably challenging when you're not a trained boxer. Yeah. So you kind of just fall into what you think will work, and then you know that's what happened. So you know what I mean. I was looking forward to it. I thought it was entertaining. Jake went ahead and called out Conor McGregor. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it turns boxing into a circus. I think boxing is kind of what UFC being so exciting. I don't mind a little bit of infusion of excitement. You know what I mean? I don't think it necessarily completely destroys the integrity, because we've seen Conor McGregor fight. He can hold his own. Again, He's an athlete. Not only that, he is a fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's fought, even if it's in a different direction. He knows the art of war. Jake Paul, to my understanding, has been training. Barz, to your point, looks like he has some technique. He did maintain composure with Nate Robinson, staying with his footwork, making sure to keep the distance, not panicking when he was bum rushing. So I wouldn't mind seeing Conor McGregor fight Jake Paul. There's somebody else he called out, and I forgot who it was. He called somebody else out, but I know I'd like to see Conor McGregor.
It's one of the trainers.
Yeah.
Another fighter in his camp.
Now let me ask you, when coming to this fight, do you think Nate Robinson thought it was going to end the way it ended?
Not at all.
After that first knockdown, whatever technique he had learned up to that point went out the window.
Yeah, I wanted to yell through the TV to tell his corner man, because it's not basketball. There's no flopping in boxing. Because he fell the first time and was touching like the back of his head, as if the ref was going to be like, oh, you're going to take points away if you hit him in the back of the head. No. He's like, give me your hands. Get your ass up. Give me your hands.
Free throw, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. And I was concerned because when he went to the canvas the first time, he took a while to get up. And I was like, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. It's the first time you've had boxing contact and you kind of gingerly getting off the floor. I was like, damn.
First of all, you fell face down. And then
Every
there with the opportunity to be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. I'm not going to get up. And he decided to get up. Now, I applaud that he believed in himself, but he has 2 more fights than you.
You can see the progression of his disappointment. So the first time, he was just like, damn, either that hurt or he didn't see it coming. And then the second time, he was visibly frustrated. He was like, fuck, this is exactly how I wanted not to go.
Exactly. He's going. He's slipping. And then the second time, he was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I'll go back. I'll try again. And that was a wrap after that.
The look on his face was like, I got to find a way out of this. Just like, I can't throw in the towel, but I can't keep getting hit like this.
Yo, they didn't even show a replay of the actual knockout. Like, they didn't even show a replay.
They just highlighted everything leading up to it.
Yo, he was on the canvas so long. Jake Paul was doing a interview by the ring, and like Nate Robinson got up just shortly before that, so he wasn't laying on the canvas while they were doing the interview. Which I thought was classy. But I think that, if they weren't like, hey, man, you got to get up, that would have been real embarrassing. You having a post-fight interview and your opponent's still rolling on the floor.
That's crazy. And so you go from that, right? And then you got Roy Jones and Mike Tyson right after that. And the look on Roy Jones' face when he's coming out, it looks like he was sitting there contemplating, again, should I be doing this shit?
Yeah. He had that nice, long, slow walk.
Yeah.
Wondering if he was making the right choice.
Now, is that the same thing Nate Robinson was doing? Because normally, like when you box, you come out the back and you go straight to the ring. But he was like, he paced for a little bit. And at first I thought he was going to do a flip or something, but he didn't. He was just pacing back and forth like 3 or 4 times. And then he walked down the ring. And I was like,
hey, he wasn't ready.
He didn't look like he was ready.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And the thing is, what's crazy is he had less time off. Like he was just active 2 years ago, so he shouldn't be nervous. What?
Well, that's Mike Tyson. That's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that surprised me when I saw as the fight progressed. Like at first, it wasn't that bad because obviously the game plan was, and he said it several times. Try not to get hit. Try not to get hit. And if you get hit, try to take the soft punches, not the haymakers. So I saw that as the strategy. What concerned me is like around, was it in the third, maybe in the fourth? Probably around the third. It was clear that Roy Jones looked tired. Like he looked fatigued. And Mike did not. Mike looked like he can go another 12, maybe a 16-round fight. Like he was very spirited. Yeah, and I figured that, okay, well, the only hope that Roy Jones would have was one, tagging Mike, right, moving around the ring, getting him tired, and then start loading up on him. But when I saw that Mike have more endurance and more energy than Roy, I was like, yo, I hope he doesn't get hurt. Because I was like, that's it. That's it. The only advantage you had is out the window.
We got Pedro in the chat. What's good? What's good, Pedro?
What up, Pedro?
But no, man, I feel like, okay, so Tyson, first of all, let's be real though. They both, even as entertaining as it was, they both also did kind of look old too. With some of the movements.
Wait, what happened?
Where did Mike look old? Because
here's the thing, because Mike, okay, his hits were still powerful, according to Roy. But because I remember distinctively how explosive he was in his prime. And it was like he was about 85% there, based on what I was watching.
I mean, if you think he's 85%,
Roy Jones,
that's great. He's
Jones
54 years old and hasn't fought since what? The early 2000s? He's 2008 or something like that?
Roy Jones did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, as much as you would have liked to see it be like Mike Tyson take his head off, Roy Jones did exactly what he was supposed to do, keeping it close and holding on to him as much as he could, dear life.
Stop his momentum.
Yeah.
Walked out the ring alive.
Some of those shots, if he would have caught Roy Jones with any of those shots that he missed, like it would have been a wrap. If you saw at the end of the fight, the interview, Roy Jones is sitting there, he's holding his stomach, he's holding his side, he's holding his
all those body shots. If any of those shots went to the head,
he's breathing hard. He can barely speak. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a bruised rib or something. Like, yo, that's just no joke. Tyson, it should not have been a draw. Tyson won that fight.
Oh, definitely.
I think Tyson went to the back and was like, just call it a draw.
Pedro, it wasn't a good draw, Pedro. It definitely should not have been a draw. Tyson won that fight.
I feel like that was already set up before. They already said that they were going to do that. You know what I mean?
I think they agreed to being a draw no matter what was going on because it was for a bigger cause.
Yeah, but right. That's why I went to pay-per-view. That's why they moved it to Thanksgiving weekend. That's why they each ended up actually collecting a purse. Bigger cause.
Yeah, but Tyson claims that he was going to donate his purse to charity.
He probably will.
That's cool.
I mean, does Tyson really need that money?
No, not at all. Tyson, it was the experience for Tyson. He didn't give a fuck about the money. He wanted Roy Jones' head. Like he was trying. He was trying.
Pedro says that Roy came back in the 8th.
He what?
Tyson was a little tired by that point, so yeah, he got a couple of shots and he probably won that 8th round. I'll give him that. Rest of the fight was Tyson though.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed though because I realized Wesley didn't throw any combos really.
Roy threw a few combos.
He was doing like a lot of sticks.
Yeah, a lot of
stick and move. Stick and move.
No. He threw like maybe like a 2 or 3 punch combo. The reason why it didn't look like it is because it wasn't effective because Tyson kept on moving through those combos.
Yeah, he had that quick combo he did in the 8th round.
That was made by Tyler Perry. That was a sweet fight. I think the Badu Jack fight was the most legit fight. In terms of a boxing match.
Natural boxing match.
Yeah.
I felt like Nate was just embarrassed and should hide his face for a good couple of months.
I mean, how much better was that fight going to be? The fact that you got to it was round 2 he went down, like down.
Yeah.
The fact that you went to 2 rounds, I think makes it somewhat respectable.
Yeah,
coming from no boxing training except for what he prepared for.
No.
If you look at the replay, look at how he was knocked out.
Right.
The only reason he was knocked out is because of technique. No other reason. There's no other reason. It's purely technique.
That's not the only reason. No. The reason he was knocked out was technique, and he was knocked out because he underestimated the white boy. He thought Jake Paul was white boy.
Yeah, just some regular party white boy.
I'm not about to let this kid. Yeah. That's what happened.
So his plan was to bombard him with punches. He thought he was gonna beat up Jake Paul. Literally, he was gonna beat up Jake Paul. That's what he thought. He thought he was gonna come in with the Super Mario. He thought he was gonna come in with the Street Fighter, to duke it, and take Jake Paul off of his feet.
I think he was gonna try to bully him. Pedro says he thinks he was brave for even stepping in there. Yeah, he's brave for stepping in the ring, but at the same time, he wrote a check that his ass can't cash. He was the one that accepted the fight. He was the one that was talking his shit.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I had a question earlier.
He's messed because he wanted to have a really good build-up.
Do you do trash talking for undercards?
I mean, you can't.
Like people are gonna come watch the fight anyway because of the main event. So do you really have to do anything to try to get? I don't know.
But the thing is, you want to be that show. If you're an undercard, you want to be that show stealer.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, people are probably gonna be talking more about the Nate Robinson Jake Paul fight. So I guess it's successful. I guess it worked because
but not
as good as the Tyson fight was, I mean, we saw it. So we're gonna be talking about.
It makes me wonder.
Tyson,
it makes me wonder how the fight would have been if it was, heavyweight Roy Jones in his prime, in his heavyweight prime, versus Mike Tyson in his prime.
I think it would have probably been about the same. Honestly, I don't think Tyson would have caught. I don't think Tyson would have caught Roy Jones.
Because Roy's head movement is ridiculous.
Not with knockouts. He would have probably kept hitting them body shots.
Yeah, the body shots would have went down, but Roy's head movement is second to none.
Right. So I think that if it was in real life, that would be the case. I don't think it would have went. What's the standard? Be 12 rounds.
12 rounds.
How many minutes per round usually?
3.
Yeah, I don't think it. Even if it was them back in their prime, it would not have gone the distance. For sure. I think that's the only real difference. It would not have gone the distance. I see Roy Jones probably having to tap out because of those body shots if it was them in their prime. You know what I mean? I feel like he would catch him. He'd be moving away kind of like he did, and Weston would just catch him with that one. And
you got to remember how quick Mike was. How quick he was on top of how hard he hits with the quickness. It's not a slow punch that you get hit with, not a slow haymaker. Like them shits is coming quick. So yeah, Roy Jones, he is defensively, he's a great fighter. Offensively, he's a great fighter also. I think eventually he would have got tired, and that's when Tyson would have got him.
The other thing too, though, is you think about the weight is like, the weight class is very, very different. Nope.
Yeah.
The weight class is very different. So even when Roy Jones was in the heavyweight, he wasn't like a heavyweight like Tyson's a heavyweight. He was more like a light heavyweight, because I think he was only just around like 200. So he basically was just breaking that level. Yeah. So when you think about that, and the thing about lighter weight classes is that punch is not as strong. So I don't see a place where Roy Jones was, very much like we saw last night is like, he was hitting him. Tyson didn't know about it. Like, he was tagging him. Tyson was not aware.
No,
so it would have been the same way back in his prime. Like, your punches would have had the same amount.
That no-look jab, though. That no-look jab was pretty. You can't deny that.
It's cool. Did you see Tyson go like this?
His head went back.
Yeah. It was you know what I'm saying?
And then Roy had the nerve to be dancing too at the very end of the. It was like the last.
He was a little bit. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, yo, he gonna piss Tyson off. Like Tyson, he's all for the cause and shit, but you're not about to just show me up.
Yo, I remember the exact moment where Roy Jones realized his legs wasn't as youthful as he thought they were. He went again for the swing, for the stick and move. He tried to throw a jab. He went to the right, and then his legs kind of lost balance a little bit. He was like, "All right, well, I'm not about to juke that hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably 2-step to the right because that knee about to give out." But it was entertaining. It was definitely worth all the hype. So that was,
I feel like there was a lot of movements Roy wanted to do, but because his mind was working faster than his body, it just wasn't working out. I love Roy to death, but you know, I'm just saying.
If we keep it in a buck, Roy Jones was definitely intimidated.
Oh yeah.
I mean, from the moment the fight was announced, you know what I'm saying, with him pushing it back and the weigh-in, you know what I'm saying, he did not want to do that fight.
Well, I thought they pushed it back for another reason because they wanted to get more of an audience draw. Because Roy, I think, originally was mad that they pushed it back because he had other stuff that he wanted to do. You know,
supposedly there's some negotiations about gloves that fell through. First time some of the gloves and fight details.
We'll go with that.
Hold up, Pedro got a question. So go ahead, read that.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
It would be a good fight. I think Mike will get tired. I don't know how many 12-round fights Mike can do.
Tyson Fury's conditioning is better at this point, and Tyson Fury is way too big.
Yeah.
And that reach. What's his a massive reach. He knows how to use.
Really bothered Mike before, because Mike his strategy where you would use his guard and move in through your reach.
Yeah. But what Tyson Fury does is he uses his reach to hold distance.
Yeah,
like
but
he'll use that.
Mike get into that though.
Hammering that shit down.
All Tyson, he get right up inside of that shit and hit him with an uppercut. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
But he has to get in there first because Tyson doesn't move. We're talking Fury. Fury doesn't move like a regular heavyweight. Fury is actually pretty fast for his size.
Maybe we could see the fight when Fury retires. He'll do it for charity. I don't think he's gonna do it right now. Like, who's gonna, put their boxing reputation on right now?
We know Roy Jones' answer. Roy Jones says when they asked him if he'll do another fight anytime soon, he says he has to go home and talk it over with his family.
I gotta go over my will, check out my health insurance.
Yeah.
How interested are we in seeing Mike Tyson continue fighting?
Yes, I would take another fight, at least one more fight, because he looked good. He looked good.
Yeah.
54-year-old man.
Do we want to see him fight another legend, or do we want to see him fight some of these younger cats?
Probably another legend. I don't see him fighting anybody who's in it right now. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Lennox Lewis again. Lennox Lewis retired. I don't think Lennox Lewis has been doing any sparring ever since he retired. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight.
Evander Holyfield.
We got Montreal asking, what would we have done if Mike Tyson bit his ear?
That would have been hilarious.
I would have died laughing, bro.
Yeah, same, man.
So he's good.
I don't know if I would have cheered because it would have been like a callback.
Did you see the commercial he released before that with the cake?
Oh, with Roy Jones' head?
That was shaped like Roy Jones, and he's like, this tastes so much better than Evander's.
Yo.
Yeah. Evander Holyfield wants Tyson. That'd be interesting. I mean, I think it's only a few.
I don't know.
Nobody's
a few legends that could really get in the ring with Tyson right now. I think Tyson's in too great shape.
Say it again?
I said it's only a few legends that Tyson can get into the ring with right now. I think he's in too great a shape.
Yeah.
I think he has the advantage in every fight.
Yeah.
I mean, Roy Jones was just fighting. I think he's one of the only few boxers I know who are still fighting and retired. Oh, what's the thing I think still boxes? Ooh. But that's not gonna be a matchup though. So I ain't gonna say his name. He from Brooklyn. I ain't even gonna say his name.
Nah, man. Say his name.
Nah, it's not the same weight class. It's not gonna make sense. Jab Judah. But it's not the same weight class. Jab Judah's still staying in shape.
I'll take Zab versus Mayweather right now.
I would take that. I would take that, especially after they
Well,
actually already fought.
You got to keep in mind, Jake Paul wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather too, and Floyd was actually entertaining that idea.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see it either.
I don't want to see that.
You're just kind of feeding Floyd's ego.
Yeah, and you know he's not going to knock him out. He's not going to take care of business like he's supposed to. Mayweather's going to dance around the ring, try to collect as much money, as much ratings as possible. When we know you can destroy this dude in the first round. This is not one of those you do your defensive. No, like you go knock him out and do what he's supposed to do, bro. But he's not going to do it, and I don't think Jake Paul is that good.
Yeah,
not right now.
I would be more entertained with him fighting Conor McGregor simply because of the trash talk buildup. Check
this out. I got one. Right. So I got two. Right. I don't know if they're in the same weight class because I don't know what's name weighed in at yesterday. But consider this, right? Other celebrities who also box, right? Starting with the first one, okay? R. Kelly.
Okay.
R. Kelly. Gonna be a little tough though, because prison,
Versus who?
Jake Paul.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, huh? Prison might prevent that though, so I'm gonna move on to my second one. Idris Elba, son. Idris Elba boxes to stay fit, like for real, in the gym, putting in work, not pulling trucks like Barz though, but still.
That'll be interesting.
You know what I mean? Celebrity versus celebrity, because they're not really. It'd be hard to put Jake Paul against an actual boxer. I'm cool with the McGregor thing though, because McGregor is new to boxing. He's a fighter though, so he'll have that advantage anyway. The instincts, how the ring moves, especially now after fighting Mayweather, he's a little bit more, familiar. But I don't see him going up against other actual fighters. He needs to go up against other celebrities who happen to box sometimes, like recreationally.
So hold up a minute. So Pedro says Mike Tyson would put Deontay Wilder to sleep today.
Listen, I know that Deontay Wilder had a rough time with his last fight with Fury and that whole I have an injury thing and the costume was heavy as shit thing. But let's not erase our memory from all the fights Deontay Wilder had before that. And while Tyson looked very good, power is definitely very similar to what it was back then. Not quite the same, but pretty powerful. You know what I mean? Like he can kill any normal everyday dude on the street. He could probably take on a couple of amateurs too at that weight class. But an actual, I don't honestly, no disrespect, man. I don't think that Mike Tyson could beat anybody, any top professional boxing sparring partner at that weight level. He could beat the guy Deontay Wilder spars with.
No, you tripping. Danger, So both Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson and Deontay Wilder, both of those fighters, neither one of them are distance fighters.
No.
They go for the knockout.
They go for the kill early.
Who's more likely to get that knockout out of those two?
Between Deontay and Mike?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Deontay, man. Better defense.
I would say with Mike Tyson.
Mike has better offense.
IQ, because Mike Tyson has a way better fight IQ than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's main focus is, let me take your head off. Mike Tyson says, let me figure out how I can take your head off in the quickest amount of time in a strategic manner.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Are we talking in the heyday or right now?
We're talking about right now.
Right now, right? Right now.
Right now.
I would agree, man. I think you're right. I think Tyson definitely has a better fighting IQ from all those years of experience. But as far as just like the overall skill level, I don't see Tyson getting close enough. I feel like would do I feel like Deontay Wilder would do exactly what Lennox Lewis did when they fight with Tyson. He'd just be punching Tyson on the top of his head. Punching him down, keeping the space, punching down. Tyson would try to get in and try to go ahead and Mustang would just be punching down because, again, Wilder also has reach. He has power and reach. Do I think he has as much power as Tyson? Maybe right now. Maybe 54-year-old Tyson, he probably has as much power as him. Maybe not more. And I think that's a credit to Tyson, not a shot at Wilder. But overall, I don't see it, man. I feel like Wilder's edging him. I don't think it's going to be a complete, destruction. I feel like it could be entertaining, but I feel like Wilder would take that.
Okay. I mean, that's a compelling argument. I really feel like the fight IQ would definitely help Tyson, but at the same time, you know, those are split second decisions that you have to make on the spot.
Yeah,
that are pretty difficult to do.
Yeah.
So now, transitioning from this whole fight to something that almost may or may not have turned into a fight, the Gucci versus Jeezy versus battle.
All right, so first off, I'm gonna kick this off, right? Because the last podcast we talked about this, and I just want to say I was right about the fact that it's one of the most, I think it broke a record for versus views. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I was right that people wanted to see this. Okay. Then I want to say I was wrong about everything else. Everything else.
We didn't dispute that people were gonna watch this.
Yeah. But I gotta say, I gotta give credit. Barz was right about every single thing, though. He was right about the fact that obviously the catalog, which I was only 50% serious about. I think Gucci got hits. Yeah, I mean, Jeezy, I think, is a better artist, man. He's a better artist. He has better hits, better features. There's not a comparison there. But yeah, most people was tuning in to see about that smoke, about to see if that beef and where that was gonna go. So hats off to you, Barz. Okay, all right.
I mean, I appreciate it.
I told it pretty much from the beginning.
I got evidence of it. I'll take it. Yeah, man. I mean, it went like exactly like we said it was gonna go. You know, I thought it was interesting. I definitely do not think any beef is squashed at all.
Think so?
Yeah, hell no. Gucci was only there for the check and for the notoriety.
I think it's done, bro. Because you know why? Because Gucci might be trying to still beef, but obviously Jeezy don't care no more.
No. It's No. It's done on that sense. I don't think there's like a actual where we have to worry about them two going at each other anymore. I don't think that's gonna happen. But there's no, I don't think there's a reconciliation. I don't think there's a friendship gonna form. I don't think we'll hear these two create new music together. I don't think we'll get any of that stuff.
No. Yeah, I would agree with that one. Yeah. I gotta say though, I lost a little bit of respect for Gucci during this battle. There was that heated moment where Gucci was talking about killing, you know, Jeezy's boy back in the day.
Put him in the dirt.
Yeah.
Right. Just no remorse, no nothing, right? And I got a lot of respect for how Jeezy handled the situation.
Okay.
And how you've been talking the same shit, bro. And I'm mad, and that's not why I lost respect for Jeezy, because I expected him to do that, because that's what he was doing before on social media and stuff, right? So I that didn't surprise me. But what bothered me is that Gucci didn't want to do this. So the first thing that bothers me is that he went ahead and after the fact, he went on social media and stuff talking about something he was doing this for the culture. Nah, nigga, Jeezy was doing it for the culture, and then you stole that. You stole that after he showed you how a grown man acts, how you're supposed to be, why he's doing this. Like the real reason, not to come beef with you.
Wasn't there a part where Gucci was like, man, I got $10,000 in his clothing, and Jeezy was like, well, I got real estate. I own half of Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was a flex. That was some grown man flex.
Yo, it goes to show though and I appreciate both of them being there, and I'm glad how Jeezy handled it, because it shows two different sides of the diaspora. You know what I mean? It shows a dude who's from the hood, who's not forgotten where he's come from and the hard work, but he has changed. He is more it's not necessarily refined, but he's gotten into the corporate game. You know, he's done that Jay-Z stuff where they come from selling crack to flipping, understanding the importance of stuff like real estate. Then you got Gucci on the other hand, who is a dude who came from the hood. He's still kind of in the hood. You know, he's made business moves. He has money. He hasn't sat there and, you know, frivolously spent all his money. He's broke, but he still shows you he's still in the streets and he's still about that life. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if they checked his car and hit a brick in the back just because.
Yeah.
So,
you know? But I appreciate the representation for both, because you have choices. You know what I mean? You got choices of what you want to do and what you want to be, and I appreciate seeing that.
Definitely that. So let me ask you guys something. That I definitely Jeezy was definitely on his grown man, right? Gucci came off as immature, a boy amongst men type of scenario. You know, with how he did things, with certain things that he would say, and you know, just his demeanor throughout the entire show. Okay, it took a turn when, like you said, he played that song, and Jeezy did a break and explained to him, you know, he's doing this for, you know, the young kids that are out there that can see two people beefing, that beefing in the streets can come to some type of mutual understanding and go their separate ways and still be alive and still live. That was the message Jeezy wanted to put out there. Gucci, not so much. Now, with everything that happened between them, would you say that it was easier for Jeezy to be the bigger man than Gucci with how their situation went down?
Is it easier for Jeezy?
Was it easier for Jeezy? You don't think so?
Way harder for Jeezy. So this is my thing, right? And if we're talking about success and getting out and all that, I don't think it changes that was Jeezy's day one. You know what I mean?
Nah.
So I don't care how many years go by. You know, you grow personally, but you still got feelings for your family. You know what I mean? Right. So I think it took a lot not to allow, you know, Gucci to hit that emotional chord. I think it goes to show to the development of Jeezy and where he's come to, where, you know, he's able to say, you know what, I'm not gonna go there with you because of the bigger picture. I think it takes a lot to do that, because if it was me, because I'm not at that growth stage yet, I'm still developing and progressing, I would have been cool until the camera stopped, and then I would have put hands on Gucci if that was me. Because again, you know, I'm still growing on that emotional side.
So I'm with you. That's his day one. Killed my boy. Now we gotta be forever. You know what I'm saying? But at this moment, I'm gonna be the bigger person. Cool. For Gucci, from Gucci's side, you sent somebody to rob me. You sent somebody to kill me. I killed the person you sent to me. My issue with you is you tried to kill me.
No, I get it. It's totally understandable.
Can you yourself sit there in front of somebody who tried to kill you and have remorse because the person that they sent to kill you was their best friend?
I don't know. It's kind of so it's kind of tough for me because I'm thinking this, right? I tried to kill you, but you survived. Right? You survived. At the end of the day, you survived.
But did you die?
And I didn't send anybody else after you. So, you know what I mean? We're kind of even at that point.
And you alive right now. Get over it. That's what you're thinking.
But at the same time, though, if I sent my mans to come get you, and that's my day one, and that's who I send, that's a sacrificial lamb, my dude. I can't feel no type of way about that. You know what I mean? I didn't realize he sent his boy. I thought it was another attempt. So if he sent his day one to go kill Gucci and Gucci kill him, you can't feel it. Jeezy can't feel no type of way about it. You can feel some type of way about the loss, but you can't be mad because you tried.
That's why I say it's easier for Jeezy to be the bigger man in this situation. Gucci's wrong, all of that stuff, but I understand Gucci's side of it also.
Right.
So I have to give props to Gucci as well, as immature as he was during the battle, for him to be able to sit there and entertain that, you know what I'm saying, with the person who's literally put a hit out on you. Oh, whoa. Whoa. It's a floating head.
What up?
What up, Soulpatch? We're live on YouTube right now, just so you know.
Yeah, so what else you say?
Is that your brother with the glasses?
Okay.
You got a shirt on? Okay. Make sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people on YouTube, man.
Yeah, say what's up to everybody on YouTube right now.
Everybody on YouTube.
Yeah, we got DC in the building. local slash worldwide DJ.
Yo, yeah. So, Pat, you was talking about the Gucci and Jeezy battle.
Okay.
And I was asking the question of who was the bigger man, knowing the story between Gucci and Jeezy, and Jeezy sending, you know, his goons out to rob and kill Gucci, and it backfiring. Who was it easier to forgive and be the bigger person in that situation? You know, everybody's praising Jeezy for his maturity and growth, which is fair. And, you know, kind of getting on Gucci for his immaturity during the battle, but not necessarily understanding the full scenario, you know, between the two.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that, Soulpatch? How do you think?
Too heavy.
How do you think Jeezy handled himself, and how do you think Gucci handled himself?
Are you asking me this question?
Yes. Yes.
Let me think about that 1 second. Hold on.
So the way Barz broke it down, educated myself because I didn't understand the full story. Talking about the context is that back in the day, Jeezy sent his best friend to go kill Gucci, and Gucci killed Jeezy's best friend.
Right.
So does Jeezy have it? Barz was saying that Gucci was the bigger man because Jeezy put an assassination attempt on him. So Jeezy shouldn't be mad because he was wrong first. You shouldn't be trying to send someone to kill me. And since you did, I killed them. Therefore, I should be mad, not you. If you didn't send him to kill me, they can still be alive.
Right.
You know.
I don't know. I'm confused by this whole scenario myself. I mean, obviously, that I don't remember. I heard about that story, but I don't remember exactly what year that happened. You know, obviously, Jeezy.
How long ago was that exactly? Now that I'm wondering.
2005.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good while ago.
Yeah, that was a good while ago. And yeah, even though it was a while ago, and that's something you really can't take back no matter what situation you're in. Jeezy is obviously not the same person he was back then, you know.
He got a daughter, he got a fiance, he got a lot of stuff on the line.
You should have thought about that.
Think about now. What's up?
You should have thought about that.
You should have. You right.
You should have.
So one thing is that you think Jeezy's upset that he sent you think he's upset that he tried an assassination tip on Gucci, or you think he's just mad because he sent the wrong person?
I don't know.
But like you would not send like your brother to go assassinate one of your enemies. You'd send the bad boy who goes and does the pictures.
If you had confidence,
I mean, Bobby's my go-to guy if I need someone to go off one of my enemies.
Yeah, whoever Bobby is, Bobby probably will definitely handle it.
And I'm pretty sure I'm his go-to guy if he needs me to take care of some people for him.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Advertising to people that we're like a part of some type of mob of some sort. That's
I mean, I've had Barz's back since day one. So like, if something has got to go down, hypothetically, it will go down.
Names.
so I think we've gotten the message across that yes, we let those people are very tough individuals. Don't mess with us.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing goes for G. Same thing goes for Danger. If someone wants to, if it's got to go down, then.
But you have confidence
right now. I'm a little nervous.
You have confidence enough to send your boy to do the job and get the job done. Your boy doesn't get the job done, you might feel some kind of way. And that's probably Jeezy. That's probably Jeezy, dealing with his own regret with that situation.
Because it was initiated by Jeezy. Yeah. The whole thing was initiated by Jeezy. Yes. If Jeezy didn't initiate the thing in the first place, wouldn't have gone over to try to kill him, making Gucci feel some type of way. Gucci wouldn't have killed him, not leaving Jeezy feeling some kind of way. Jeezy's homeboy would still be here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that wouldn't have happened had Jeezy not been the one to initiate it. And I think that's why Jeezy was the one that felt like he had to make it right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I don't know if I'm, jumping to conclusions.
Well, I mean, even Swift said it in the I guess the after versus conference or whatever. He said, yeah, like, he mentioned about, the songs, the beat regarding to the beef and being out in the verses. He's like, I guess grown men just had to just leave it up, like clear the air. They were just clearing the air. I'm pretty sure Jeezy and Gucci didn't want anything to pop off, but they had to clear the air with each other. Everybody knows what happened between the two of them, and needed to finally clear the air in the end.
Yeah, I just gotta say, man, it was entertaining though.
It was.
I had to go back and watch it. I didn't watch it live. I had to go back and watch, but it was pretty entertaining. I think, especially if you like, if you're a fan of either one or probably both. I mean, they both make really good music, different types of music. So it was cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Not the best verses of all time, though. That's for sure. I heard some people talk about that. It's definitely not that.
It was pretty one side. I mean, I was giving Gucci the benefit of the doubt, but it was pretty one-sided. Jeezy, song-wise, catalog-wise, was like here to like Gucci's few hit songs that people remember.
You admit that so fast.
Gucci.
I never talking about it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, so it doesn't seem like it's so one-sided.
You fought me on that before the verses happened.
I only did that to say like, he's not like, it's not gonna be like Rakim versus Vanilla Ice.
But it was. What? But it was.
And he do Gucci like that. Nah, I don't do Gucci like that. I don't do him like that. That's not what it was. Okay. I don't have a comparison to go to right now. That's not what it was.
It was a current Black Panther versus Mr. Ice Cream Man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right, so now that we've covered that, I want to talk about another beef that was squashed.
Yo.
Janet and Will Smith have squashed their beef officially at the first.
Okay. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Prince reunion. Janet, but here's the thing: a lot of people are speculating that even though Will Smith and Janet squashed whatever they were going through, that it's not squashed between Janet and Alfonso, because Alfonso wasn't there during that video shoot when she was on the set, because he had to shoot, I think, America's Funniest Home Videos that day, because they shot the special on one day, but then they shot all the other extra clips on different days. And the day that Viv was there, what's her face? Viv couldn't be there. Well, Viv was there. Alfonso couldn't be there because he was working.
Check me out.
You're talking about Janet on Viv, right?
Yeah,
dark skin on Viv.
I'm not gonna use. I prefer not to use that label. I prefer first on Viv and second on Viv. Let's be fair.
OG on Viv, you mean?
Take the fun out of it, Soulpatch.
Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. That's fine. I'll respect that. So let me ask you, though, not to be rude, but does anyone really care that Carlton has beef with First and Viv?
No.
Like the Will Smith and First and Viv thing was important. It was important. You know what I mean? Because one, First on Viv got taken off the show. And two, Will Smith was a huge part in the star of the show. So that I get. But
the reason why there would be
are we worried about Mr. State Farm?
I haven't seen the reunion show yet. So what's the story between what happened with Viv and Carlton?
Well, that wasn't addressed on the show, but a lot of people on YouTube are saying that when they watched the special, they couldn't help but notice that during the scenes in which Janet reunited with the cast, in that particular scene, Alfonso wasn't there. He was in all the other clips, but in that particular clip, when she got back on the set, he was mysteriously gone.
Okay.
So
and people are taking that as, oh, he still has a problem. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't realize, yes, Will Smith and Janet had that issue, but Alfonso, there's some videos on YouTube of Alfonso kind of talking some stuff about Vic, about the original Vic. And I think that's why there's a little thing between Viv and Carlton now.
So I really want to weigh in, but I haven't heard the stuff from Alfonso, so I don't know if it's real or not, if he has a point. I feel like
says that Carlton said more damaging things than Will did.
I mean, so the thing is that the two perspectives I look at this is perspective one is where maybe the problems with First and Viv, right? Because you have one person who's the common denominator and then two completely different people, right? Second perspective is Alfonso is just trying to get attention. You know what I mean? Helps keep the checks going, helps more marketing, more commercials, more interviews. So I feel like both are possible. I'd probably now have to go give him that attention by checking out those YouTube videos to see if there's anything credible. But I don't know, man. It could be either one. It could be either one.
My interpretation, because I did hear about that early on about why, it's spreading this thing about Alfonso not being there when she reunited with the cast. And in the past, Janet referred to Alfonso, and I quote, as Will's tampon.
Okay. Talk that talk.
Pretty creative.
I've never heard that kind of talk before.
So that kind of like adds more wood to the flame, if you get my drift. So, but I honestly think it could have just been scheduling, because who knows, everyone's got different schedules on that show.
People on Twitter were getting at Janet saying, "Oh, I guess old wounds aren't really healed," and Janet was like, "Yeah, we're over it. You're like, there's no beef." Like, but it's the thing is, the perception is, oh, he didn't show up because they had problems. Janet is insisting there's nothing there anymore, but I think people are not going to be satisfied until they see Janet and Carlton actually talk.
I don't really think people are like on pins and needles waiting for them to reunite. I mean,
not at all, but I think that they're saying that, oh, they're not squashed, when really they are. And I think the only reason people feel like that is because of his absence when she was on set.
I feel like I'm more inclined to believe that it's because they have issues. Again, like Soulpatch said, I don't know how much people are going to be invested and really keep eyes on this. But you talk about scheduling conflicts. It's a big deal to have everybody there. You had Aunt Viv 1 and Aunt Viv 2 there. Obviously, it's important everyone be there. So if it's a scheduling conflict, I'm pretty sure there's a way that they can make it to everyone to be there. And if not, then they postpone it until they can. Mm-hmm. So based on just that, I'd be more inclined to believe that there's some sort of issue with somebody.
Well, in the past, I've even seen videos of YouTube videos of Alfonso referred to Janet as crazy. So there's been some history between the two of them that I don't think hasn't really died down as much. But I don't think that's the reason why they just couldn't be in the same room together. Like you said, Danger, like sometimes schedules come, even if some things you just can't get out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alfonso is an actor and a host. That's how he gets his bread. So, I got to get to the gig.
But you have to remember, man, and it's something that Charlamagne always says, nobody believes the truth if the lie is more entertaining.
Right.
So if people want to believe, if they really truly want to believe that the beef isn't over, that's the narrative that they're going to attach themselves to, no matter what anybody says about it not being a beef.
I don't think it's going to be. They probably do have beef, and they probably still have they did open up a lot of wounds in the past between the two of them, but like, it is what it is. But I don't think anyone's gonna be, losing sleep over it. You know what I mean? Like, she reunited with Will. That was
the important part.
That was more important. They finally made amends. But some people in this world, you're just not gonna, respectfully just keep, no hard feelings. But you go your way, I go my way, and we'll just be at that. If we don't meet in the middle, that's fine.
Yeah, very true.
This is what it is. Some people in your world, you're just gonna encounter that. You just aren't gonna. It just ain't gonna happen.
It's something that they feed off of. People feed off of watching two people not getting along. As a matter of fact, let's look at the Wendy Williams situation.
Say that again?
The Wendy Williams situation that I think Danger's going to get into.
Oh, you're mistaken, good sir. It's not Wendy Williams. It's what the fuck.
Wendy Williams.
No, it's what the fuck. Wendy's.
I had to trash about Beyonce and how she has a 8th grade vocabulary and she couldn't stand listening to her talk in an interview.
Did she say that recently though?
What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you both.
I think it was fairly. I don't know if it was fairly recent, but it did come up again for some reason.
Because I could say I don't know if it goes to speak towards her tenacity and the commitment to her profession. Because if I'm a gossip writer, entertainer, columnist, whatever, however she's categorized as far as for the gossip world, daytime gossip television host, and my dirty laundry gets aired out the way that it did for her, I'd be really careful about coming after people, Like I throw shade because that's how I make my money, but I wouldn't directly come after somebody where they can just bring up all of my old stuff.
Yeah. But look how quiet she was when she was going through whatever she was going through with her ex-husband. She was ready to let everybody else have it about their situations. And when her situation came up, she was like, please respect my privacy. What?
I think that's probably just like that. It's a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? You give it, and you got to be prepared to get it. Especially when your stuff comes out, though, the way it did, that's crazy. That's really crazy how her situation was. Like, you take side chicks on vacation, staying at same hotels, houses on the same block in the same neighborhood.
Having entire children.
Yo.
With these side chicks.
It's wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But what about the Wendy that you were referring to? So talk to us about that.
Oh yeah, this is way more important. So it's what the fuck, Wendy's. That's right, your neighborhood fast food restaurant. So I realized like the beginning of this week, right? I'm sitting there, I think I was watching football on Monday night or something. I was watching TV and a commercial came on for Wendy's. Talking about how something about how they didn't start the chicken sandwich war, but they ended it.
Says who?
What? Yo, this is one of the worst commercials Wendy's could have put out. One, it's been over, bro. Like, I don't even think we were talking about y'all when the Popeye's chicken sandwich came out and Chick-fil-A. I don't think they got into the conversation. And even if they did, how many months has it been? Weren't we talking about this before the pandemic? No one's checking for chicken sandwiches no more, my nigga. What is Wendy's doing? How out of touch is this? You can't bring back beef. And also, another component of this is that it's on a value menu. No, none of the other chicken sandwiches on a value menu. You can't do 2 for $5 for no Chick-fil-A sandwiches. You can't do 2 for $5 for no Popeyes. That's just $3.99. $3.99, full price.
Imagine if you could, though.
I'm sorry, what?
Imagine if you could.
Imagine if you could. Again, if you could, for one of the other ones, we wouldn't be talking about Wendy's at all. We wouldn't allow them to have commercials with a chicken sandwich if those other chicken sandwiches were on sale like that. I had to bring that up. That just bothered me.
Did you try it?
So let me ask you this, right? All of the chicken sandwiches, we're talking Wendy's, we're talking McDonald's, we're talking, I guess that trash that KFC tried to come out with, Chick-fil-A. if all of these sandwiches were the same exact price, put them in the order of what you would go for first versus what you would like not go for immediately.
So I gotta go with the best chicken sandwich. They're not making it right now. It's a seasonal thing. They don't make it anymore, so I don't know if this counts. But the best chicken sandwich ever in history is the KFC Double Down Chicken Sandwich, my nigga. There is no better chicken sandwich than that. Why? Because there's no bread, so it's low carb, right? Not only do you get one patty, you get two. You get two. It's all chicken, and then some bacon and some sauce. By far,
so you're talking about the sandwich that there's two chicken patties as the bun, and your meat was that slab of bacon.
That's right. And some sauce. Some sauce. Yep. Number one for me, right there.
Isn't that kind of messy?
Second, it's probably Popeyes, and third, Chick-fil-A. You know, pro LGBT.
I never actually tasted it. Was it really that good?
The double down chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Back in the, I don't really mess with fast food as much as I used to, but back in the day, your boy had a problem. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Had some moral conflicts because, you know, KFC with that whole slave master thing, but that chicken sandwiches just was kicking. It's kicking.
Mm.
In fact, you bring it back.
So would it be safe to say that these are sandwiches that make your mouth water?
Huh?
That was the question.
Huh? I was waiting for somebody else. I already gave you my rundown, but you know.
No, these are sandwiches that would make your mouth water. Is that safe to say?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Pause.
Okay. So transitioning into other things that are somewhat equally as moist, WAP. WAP is winning. Tell us about this WAP is winning award show validity.
Macaroni in the pot. So Cardi B makes history. That's right. She makes history. And when I first came across this article, I was like, okay, you know, she's making a lot of hits. You know what I mean? I think Nicki Minaj, when she was out, she had a lot of hits, so she made some history too. It just wasn't for the reasons that I thought. Cardi B makes history for WAP. She's the first female to win.
Her song, though, right? She's not making history for her actual WAP.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's about the song. She's about the song, not her actual WAP. That's right. She made history by being the first female to win two awards at the American Music Awards. And one of them, the most recent one, this past like week or two, has been WAP. She won an award for the song WAP, which I think is extraordinary. Like, I mean, the history thing about the fact that she happened to win 2 awards at the AMA is important. But the particular song, I think that's where it's a huge deal. She won a song for WAP. And if you don't know, if you're streaming here and, you know, not over the age of, I don't know, 8, please muffle your ears, put it on mute. WAP stands for Wet Ass Pussy. It's a song. And she won an American Music Award for WAP. I'm so proud of the United States. We are growing. This is progress.
Progress is being made in the United States.
Can you say pussy on YouTube?
I think we just did.
Guess we don't have to worry about being demonetized. So hopefully they'll be nice enough to just cut that part out and then like leave the rest of the video. So
yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, plus I had a disclaimer, so you know.
So what about another very popular female MC, Missy Elliot? What is she not missing out on, Sir Felix?
Yeah, Missy Elliot is not missing out on blessings. I heard this story on the radio and I wanted to come and share with everybody, man. Because you know, during this time of the pandemic, man, we got to look for the bright spots. You know what I mean? We got to look for the happy stories. There's a lot of negativity out there, but you know, like Barz. But we got to find the positive stories and the good feels. You know what I mean? So one of the story came out that Missy Elliot had actually reached out to this lady via social media who was having trouble getting funding and getting the funds to get her dream wedding dress. So she was talking about it and stuff. So Missy went ahead and just sent her the money. Straight Cash App. Here you go. That's for you. Allowed this young lady to have her dream wedding dress that she couldn't afford. Missy's a real one. We talk about legends and icons. It's more than just the music. It's the actions in real everyday life. Much respect to Missy, man.
Must be nice to just look at your Cash App and see money sent by Missy Elliot.
For real.
Right?
Barz 87.
You know,
Barz
I was gonna
87.
Write that down, y'all. Write that down. If anybody is feeling charitable, he's gonna write it down on a piece of paper and hold it up to the screen later. So make sure y'all are ready.
Yeah. Remember to put that, put your Cash App, not your OnlyFans. Make sure to keep it separate.
Yes. Let's make sure we know the difference.
Pretty close.
Let's talk about Dr. Dre's new album.
Yes, let's. Barz, what's up? What's up? You got your ear to the street, my dude. What's up? What's the real deal?
Dr. Dre has a new album coming out?
Supposedly.
Come on, Barz. You got your ear to the streets. You look at these types of messages.
The deets.
Somebody was on Twitter bragging about Dr. Dre having a new album, and they were listening to it, and it sounds amazing. And nobody knows what the hell this person's talking about. Nobody has heard anything of this sort, which is very possible. It could still be real because Dre likes to keep his shit under wraps. But people who work close to Dre, they're gonna say they have no idea. So, does he have a new album? Possibly.
Okay.
That's all I got for you. I'm sorry. And Eminem is supposed to be featured on it.
Okay, I would expect nothing less.
Probably.
I would got some guest appearances from Top Dog Entertainment as well.
If I can guess, it's probably gonna be Snoop.
Anderson .Paak.
Probably NWA reunion.
Yeah.
With the Easy hologram. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
Not you, Siri. I'm not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, I heard even rumors that Rakim was going to be on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be dope.
Busta.
And
Rakim,
who?
maybe.
Rondo.
Busta.
Oh, I was like, wait, Rondo?
Rashawn Rondo just comes in.
A Dr. Dre album?
Like, wait, hold on.
It's like, yo, Dr. Dre's lost it. That's it. You can't make it more music.
It's over. He's lost all sense of reality.
I mean, Dre isn't exactly like Lil Wayne when it comes to cranking out albums. He likes to take his time and focus into fully putting it out the right sound. He's a very perfectionist.
Yeah.
So
Well, the
we'll
reason why
we'll probably be in our 50s by the time Dre puts out an album. Like,
yeah. Well, the reason why I brought up the rumors because the last album was supposed to come out, didn't come out the way it was.
Put out
that never came out.
I mean, Barz said it came out. That's what he said.
Didn't T-Tox come out as Compton?
Yeah.
Compton came out. That technically was his latest release, but
he took T-Tox and kind of changed it to Compton so there's less pressure.
Yeah, maybe because there's less pressure, or he just scrapped shit. Which I still want to hear the other shit.
But the thing about following up your masterpiece is always like a hard thing to chase. Like when you got albums like The Chronic and The Chronic 2 that were like massive hit, like classic albums now.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to follow up with. Okay, what am I gonna do next? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why you got to pull a Jay-Z. That's why you got to pull a Jay-Z. Say you retire, so no one expects anything from you, and you just start dropping some more albums. People are like, "This is amazing." We're like, it's something.
I mean, it's kind of what he does.
Yeah,
even
it's
with Eminem, like it's hard for when you have albums like Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP that were like that skyrocket. It's kind of hard to follow up with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even Michael Jackson had a hard time following up Thriller, man.
Yeah.
Bad was
I mean, I don't know that one. Yeah,
Bad had his. I wasn't a fan of Bad.
Smooth. Don't you dare.
I feel like it's a matter of opinion because both those albums are pretty close, bro. Like if you ask 50% of people, 50% of people say they prefer Bad, 50% say they Thriller. So
Yeah,
they're both.
Some people. I mean, it's just like it's a difference.
Off the wall. Don't forget about Off the Wall.
Off the
Wall will put him up on the list, right?
Yeah, that was also so.
If I'm being honest,
do you think? And this is I don't know. Maybe this is an out there question. Do you think Thriller would have been as popular as it was had not Off the Wall been popular and successful?
No.
I think Thriller, it had been successful and they owe a lot of its success to Off the Wall.
Building off the momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, the momentum of it really brought it down.
But you can say the same with Bad.
Very true. But
I mean, it's still, and you know what? Honestly, I don't know because for me, I don't know how we got here, but anyways, Michael Jackson, at least his first couple albums gives me like the Kendrick Lamar effect, or vice versa. Kendrick Lamar gives me the Michael Jackson effect. No two albums sound alike. They're each individual, and there's something prominent about each album specifically. You know what I mean? Off the Wall, of course, Billie Jean, yada, yada, yada. Thriller, that Thriller music video, like that was the foundation for that. And then Bad, you had Smooth Criminal with the whole Moonwalker movie and all that. And then the video game came. You know what I mean? It's something prominent about each project. So I don't know if I can say I don't know if I can fully commit to the fact that Thriller wouldn't be as big if there wasn't Off the Wall, or Bad would be as big if it wasn't a Thriller.
Yeah,
I think individually, I think it might be the same.
Yeah, I agree. But getting back to what we were talking about earlier with Dr. Dre, the reason I said this because, is it following up your masterpiece, or what can people consider a masterpiece? It's been since, I want to say, it's been years since, but that whole thing about the Detox album coming out was since, I don't know how long. Is it still?
That was supposed to come out to 2001.
Mm-hmm.
After Chronic. That was supposed to come out to Chronic 2001. I mean, shit, you got Eminem on songs from 2005, 2006 saying, look out for Detox. We're going to make Dre do it.
Those efforts have not been fruitful.
Yeah, do you think that it'll be worth the wait, or do you feel like it'll be like a hit or miss type of thing?
Hey, you know what? Do you think that he's holding off on a lot of these albums because maybe this album. I don't know about the last album because I don't know if he's in litigation with his ex-wife. But I wonder if he's waiting to push that out to figure out because,
yeah,
if he makes more money.
His album's going to have to go diamond if he can finally get back the money he got back from that divorce.
Can't get none of that. She can't get none of that.
But doesn't the prenup prevent his ex-wife from getting a certain amount?
That's to my understanding that they already gone through litigation. They're already divorced, and she was already awarded a specific amount of money anyway. Her issue is that she actually has a lawsuit against him for additional funds. My thing is you already got money. You already got the house that's worth 16 mil. Why? What's with the additional money? You want money like I have money. You want $900,000 a month so you can entertain. Yeah. I'm not even gonna start on that. I'm not gonna start on that.
And you know
why? Better get a fucking MIDI and Pro Tools.
Dre does not want to give that shit up because I read a story. Supposedly he wants to in court. He wants to have all his wedding guests from 1996 be a witness.
Wow.
A testimonial witness in court.
How effective is that?
Is that including the caterers or whatever?
Right.
Caterers, limo driver,
and all that too. That's another question. Does he have the guest list in which you can just call them all up and be like, hey, show up to court at such and such a date?
Hey, Soulpatch, remember you took photos of my wedding? Yeah, I'm gonna need to go to court now. Testify. Show them all the evidence of the photos you took.
See, my wife wasn't happy in this picture. I didn't know that. You see the magic in her eyes? That was all a lie.
All right, let's shift gears. Clemson bitching like champions is what it's titled. Let us know why you feel that way, Danger.
That's right. So this is a very important story still. Clemson played yesterday and they got their win.
Yeah.
Clemson's, I think they're ranked number 2 now because they had that postponement. They're one of the top, at least top 3 or top 5 schools right now. They're supposed to be one of the most likely teams to actually win the championship, only among a handful of teams. So the reason why they're bitching like champions actually sprouted from something that happened like a week and a half ago. So they were supposed to play my alma mater, Florida State University, go Seminoles #1, baby. And the game actually ended up getting canceled, possibly postponed. They may reschedule it, right? Due to COVID protocols. Okay. So
someone caught it or just protocols?
Who?
Somebody caught COVID or was it just protocols?
Yeah, so there were some players on Clemson's side that caught COVID, right? And there were some people who had exposure to those people. So they actually had to go through a certain set of protocols too, where they had to separate and stuff. So the details get kind of murky, right? Because the issue is that a lot of these programs, a lot of the different conferences, they don't have the same COVID protocols. They have different ways of doing things. So the ACC, where FSU plays in, and Clemson also plays in as well, but within the same conferences, each team can tweak how they do their COVID protocols. Again, we don't got, not everybody's on the same page, right? People got different options of what they want to do. So the issue for me, the main purpose of this is that, okay, you had a postponement, maybe they have to reschedule, right? Let me put this in perspective. Clemson, again, is one of the best, if not the best team in college football, okay? Florida State is not, if not the worst, one of the worst college football teams this year in all of college. Several hundred teams in college, guys, right?
Yeah.
So Clemson's up here, Florida State's way down here in the dirt. Okay, start with that. So the game has to get postponed, possibly rescheduled because of COVID. And Clemson's coach implies that the game wasn't canceled or postponed because of COVID protocols, but that FSU didn't want that work. They didn't want that pressure, right? And like, I could respect that if you want to trash talk to kind of get people amped up for the next game or whatnot. If you were playing a better team, like this, to put the perspective, we talk about the Tyson fight. This is as if Mike Tyson had tough talk Nate Robinson if they were fighting each other. Like, okay, you don't like that's who does that help? Yeah, for me that looks sad as hell. And then of course some of his players piled on, and FSU players had to go out and be like, "Yo, we ain't scared of nobody." And I can sit here and say that. I can guarantee you, I watch almost every single Florida State game. If you've seen us at the beginning of the season, we are not a team that's worried about being embarrassed, bro. Okay? We're not worried about getting scored 77 points to 0. Not the Seminoles, bro. We don't work. Ain't nothing to us. We've been doing that for most of the season. So for them to sit there and say that, I think it's despicable, especially since it's not against a good team. It's against one of the worst teams. Like that's not what you do. That's not what you do. Okay, so I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, it is a bit childish. I mean, like it's like literally kicking a man when he's already down. Like he's already down in the season. All of a sudden, you want to say, "Oh, you're just scared."
Yeah. What? So the fuck what? It's football. It's competitive. Who gives a fuck? If we're playing a football game and my team is up 110-6, don't end the game just because we're up. End the game in the fourth quarter at the end when the clock is at 0.
I agree. So I agree with that. I agree with that. In this situation, though, we didn't get to play. So you're talking trash, right, about a team you didn't get to play because they're scared about what? That don't even make sense. What are you scared about? We've been doing that. I don't think you understand the extent to where FSU has been losing and how they've been losing. It's not that they get blown out. It's that they'll be ahead or they'll be tied, and they'll give you a glimmer of hope. And then we intentionally seem to throw the game. You know what I mean? We're throwing the ball directly to the other team. No other players around. We're fumbling the ball after barely being touched. And before you know it, we're losing by 40 points to a team that's unranked. You know what I mean? Like we're losing to Broward College. That's the type of teams we're losing to. You know what I mean?
All right, so let me
Broward
ask
College got a football team?
Danger, let me
Bro,
ask
if they did, they could probably beat FSU. That's where we're at. That's who Clemson is talking to.
Yo,
Like
Danger,
Noah.
because I'm not so into college football like that and paying attention to the rankings and stuff. So my question for you is, have you seen anything where they've talked about in regards to how COVID is being handled? Okay, so like, for example, my team, Miami Hurricanes, they tested positive for COVID. They haven't played a game, I want to say 2 weeks. They won't play a game until the end of this week. So it'll be 3 weeks that they haven't played a football game. How does that work with college ranking? Because you can lose one game and you can drop out of the top 10.
So at the end of the day, I'm not sure how they finalized it, but as it stands, if you don't play, then you might get dropped you might get dropped from your ranking.
So Clemson,
But there's like an asterisk to that though. Like,
I mean, there might be, but college football is acting like they don't give a fuck. Like, what's the name? Is it the Pac-10 or the Big 12? One of them just started. Who's it? Is it the Big 12 who has the Buckeyes? That conference, I'm gonna look it up to make sure. I think it's the Big 10. They just started the season not too long ago. So there are teams that have like 3 wins already because they've already been playing the season, and the Buckeyes have like 1 win. So they're really down 3 or 4 games to another team because their conference just started later because of COVID. And so, college football, their response has been like, so
what would be the point of playing then? Unless because you said in the conference. So do the conferences intertwine? Well, obviously, but what money?
yes.
Television money? Is that it? Because they're not allowing fans at the fucking arenas.
Some are. Some schools are.
Notre Dame did.
So it's all about this, because if you think about it, Ohio State also was one of those top 5 teams that could possibly, vie for a championship. But with them starting when they started, there's a good chance that they may not even get a shot.
Got you.
And it's just kind of like is what it is. College football they don't know what to do. Yeah, they really don't know what to do.
Okay. So then what about this other stuff about the pandemic that has been discovered?
Oh yeah, happy stuff. Cool. So during the pandemic, I think there's a lot of stuff we're discovering. There's a lot of stuff we can't do. So I think we're going out more, road trips, different things like that. And I actually discovered something over these last 2 weeks that have brought me joy. So I wanted to share. A tequila sunrise. Very underrated drink, guys. Very underrated drink. I always see it on the menu before the pandemic, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get that. And I always end up going with something else like a Long Island so I can get shit-faced. But this time I decided while I'm at home, I'm just going to sip, enjoy a nice little cocktail. And yeah, man, tequila sunrise is it. Why do I like it? It's a drink that has layers, bro. All right? So it's orange juice, right? Tequila, and a little bit of grenadine syrup. It's very sweet, not going to lie. It's not something you can have every day unless you get the Baileys. But it has layers to it. So the top layer, you get the orange juice and the tequila, right? What you're supposed to do is you pour the grenadine slowly into the cup so it just sits at the bottom, right? So you got like a light orange at the bottom and then straight bright orange at the top, right? And while you drink it, it has one flavor here, and as you get lower and lower to the bottom, flavor completely changes, man. I'm telling you, magic's going on during the pandemic, son.
Okay. Now we're gonna close this out with Danger has questions.
Oh, perfect, my man. I do.
Yes.
I do.
That's how we do
Okay.
it.
So let me go ahead and preface this. Childbirth. Okay? So childbirth is a beautiful thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to pose this question. Childbirth beautiful or sicko?
Ooh.
So I was on YouTube and I was watching one of the late night shows. What's the guy? Jimmy Fallon? I think it was Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon? No, it wasn't Jimmy Kimmel. I think it was Jimmy Fallon or it was Conan O'Brien. I want to say Conan O'Brien. I think it was Conan O'Brien. And they had Mila Kunis on. And this is from a little while back. She was talking about how she had just given birth, right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful, right? Birth is beautiful, right? We're mostly in agreement. And then she talked about how her breast ballooned. And I took notice of such things, right? And my thing is, I still think it's beautiful because it's part of the childbirth, right?
Right.
Developing and stuff. But I was just like, damn. You know what I mean? Because it went from like A cups to non-existent to like full C, right? Looking right. So afterwards, I caught myself and thought, nah, man, that's weird, right? Because she's talking about just giving birth to her child, and you are zooming in on her hefty chest size. So kind of wanted to weigh in. What do you think? Beautiful or sicko?
I don't think that's weird. I think that's okay.
Right? Because she brought it up, right? She brought it up.
And you're just admiring what she brought up. You're focusing and paying attention to what she's saying.
Exactly.
You're interested in the conversation.
See?
I agree.
And it's natural. Yeah, it's human.
Part of the process.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, what would be weird if you were at home Googling childbirth and your focus wasn't the birth of the child. That would be weird.
No, that probably would be the line. Yeah. Yeah. So anything short of that, be good, right?
Yeah. I think you're good. I think you're safe.
Cool.
And you're not looking up videos of women breastfeeding. I think you'll be good.
So is that also on the?
That would be weird.
Okay, all right, cool. I mean, good to know. I just want to make sure, because I'm not. But
yeah, that's on the spectrum of being a little strange.
Yeah,
that's like one of those weird fetishes that people have.
Yeah, definitely. Even though they do it out in public, like they don't care. But yeah,
Or women change that.
That's the thing. It's one thing.
So what? Women change it. Guys, this list is getting pretty hefty. Okay, I'm just gonna say
that would be weird. Women changing diapers would be weird too.
Oh, women changing diapers. Okay, I thought you meant women change like in changing rooms with like hidden cameras that sit in the bottom corner.
No, but like I was trying to say though, like it's one thing for it to be happening, because it happens. It's natural. It's another thing for somebody to go above and beyond to actually look these things up.
So you're walking through the mall, and there's a mother on the bench breastfeeding their child. You walk by. Do you glance?
I haven't. To be honest with you, I'm like I established. Okay, they're breastfeeding. All right, keep it moving.
I glance.
It's not something that makes me go
on, but I keep it moving.
Oh, let me.
Wait, did you guys both say that you would glance but keep it moving? And again, this is a judgment-free zone. I mean, I asked the question.
Definition of glance, I'm like, by definition of glance, because usually women who do that, they have their back towards you and they have their shirt kind of up. You're like, what's going on? And then like, oh, okay, breastfeeding out.
You establish what's going on. You keep it moving.
So Soulpatch, you said when they have their shoulders up, you have to go around to figure out what's going on. So it was good.
Oh, I'm saying
what are you doing? Move your shoulder.
if I'm like standing, grinning, and it's like finish up or I call next. That's
you just say I got next.
He said I call next.
Yeah.
Leave the left one for me.
I got
downs. Like, leave the left one for me or something like that. No, it's like
oh my God.
I can't.
Tag team. No, but like,
if we weren't gonna get shut down for the WAP thing, I'm pretty sure this might do it. I have to come hear us on Spreaker.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. I think we can end it out.
There's no hypotheticals to address or anything, you know?
Let me see. Kind of do. They're kind of mild. But it was. Nah, we'll pass.
It's like it can't get worse, or it shouldn't get worse.
I want to end where we are. Nah, this is good.
Yeah, this is a high note. I'm assuming this is the highest note we could end at.
Yeah. Okay. Glancing at women breastfeeding in public. Of course, Soulpatch does not. Once he realizes what they're doing. Because he couldn't tell until he got close up. So I understand.
It's not like it's not like I'm walking up saying, "What you doing there?"
What's going on there? Are you doing what I think you're? Yep, that's it. You are breastfeeding your kid. Okay, I will back up and turn.
That's not what I'm talking about. Like establishing meaning. Like, all right, I'm walking. Oh, she's breastfeeding. All right, I'm walking away. That type of like nonchalant type of like, okay, I see what's going on, and I'm keep it moving. But if I'm like, I wonder what's going on over here with this lady.
Do you look over and do you like? Do you keep walking? Or is
I glance like, oh, okay, whoops, I'm out. I don't be like.
Do you make eye contact? Do you just give a nod like?
He's like this. You're doing a good job.
Like I'm going to the baby. Handle your business, kid.
Well done.
Oh my God.
Oh man. On that note, listen, we have a whole lot of merch available for all of you. Okay, we have 2 different collections. We have pretty much almost everything you could possibly think of. We have hoodies. We have regular jackets. We have pants. We have shorts. We have socks. We have slippers. Sneakers. Please check out the sneakers. The sneakers are no joke. We got them in black and white.
Yes.
Whatever you prefer. I mean, we got regular t-shirts, of course. We got the V-necks. We got the regular t-shirts. Yo, we have coffee mugs. We got fidget spinners. There is no excuse that by Christmas time, you should not have at least 1 or 2 pieces of those people merchandise. Support the movement. We have a lot of things in the works. We have a lot of things that we're trying to do to bring you some better content, but we can't do it without you, the people's help.
Right.
So one of the best ways, aside from watching and listening to our podcast, aside from checking out episodes, the final 3 on our main YouTube page, definitely go to thosepeople.com, click on the merch section, and explore both collections of merch that we have available to all of you. All right? And as always,
hey, exactly what G said. Definitely cop the merch, especially if you didn't like the podcast. If you didn't like the podcast, the way that you show us that you didn't like it is by purchasing the merch. And also, as usual, continue to support those people, because when you support those people, holiday in, holiday out, you support you.
That's right.
That's right. And with that, we are out.